Hi there, my name is Macy Jacob, and we're here today in South Hudson at Used Kids Records, where we're chatting with Johnny Manchild. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
How about we start by telling us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Johnny. I am from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and I play and write music for fun.
And you're on tour right now. What's your favorite place to play? Where's been the greatest crowd?
On this tour? Man, that's a tough question. I think last night was actually pretty rad in Buffalo, but I think so far my favorite place is the Pie Shop in DC. We've had a pretty fun following kicking up there. Plus, they just have a good venue and really good pie. So.
They actually have pie.
Oh God, yeah, they have pie.
What kind did you have?
I had a savory pie. It was steak and Gruyere, and it was amazing.
That sounds awesome. And what about the show tonight here in Columbus? How are you feeling about that?
Good. I've never. I think we've played in Columbus once at Natalie's Grandview, but I've never been in this part of the city. I've never been to this venue, Roomba Cafe, so I'm excited to see it and play to some people and stuff.
We're excited to see it too.
Thanks. Yeah, Ohio in the past. I've done technically a house show once in the suburbs outside of Columbus.
Weird.
And then I played for a frat event.
Oh God.
Which is fun. But it's different. And yeah, we have like a bit of a thing brewing in Ohio. I've yet to see how big that thing is, but we're gonna keep coming back until I figure it out.
So you've been releasing music on Spotify since 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little about how you got into making music? What's the situation with that?
Before that, actually, with this band, 2016. But so my first band was before Spotify in 2006. So I was 10.
Okay.
I can run through the basics here, but essentially I was a drummer first, and I started playing drums when I was 5. And there's this band called Refuge out of Norman, whose drummer, for whatever reason, had dropped off. They were like 14, so they were a bit older than me, but I auditioned, and they kicked their drummer out and took me in.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And we actually did well. We toured around a bit. We got flown out to LA for the Next Great American Band, that Fox TV show.
That is so awesome.
I didn't know how awesome it actually was, because it was my first experience doing music, and so I was just like, oh cool, we're playing shows.
Yeah, and you were in 6th grade.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
5th and 6th grade, yeah. I'll skip through this as quickly as I can, but basically the band broke up, we got a bunch of money, I bought recording equipment, and then started writing my own stuff. And then I was in a bunch of punk bands through middle school and high school. I started a recording studio when I was 17, and then joined the Army, went to the Army band.
Okay.
And I came back, kept up the recording studio, went to college for jazz percussion, and while I was there, that's where I met the guys that I started this group with. I had a bunch of demos and stuff of all the stuff I was writing, and I literally... the first guy I got was my drummer Ethan, who's still with us. And after one of our jazz ensemble classes, like, hey, can you jam on this with me for a second? And we just kind of did it. And I sort of just kind of coerced multiple people into rehearsing with me to get these songs built up. And so that was that. And yeah, that started in 2016, and that's when we did the Valencia thing. I guess that's the short version of my experience.
Your incredibly extensive lore.
And the first single we ever did, Annie, Bryce Saber recorded it, and he was military as well, and so he hooked me up and recorded it for a bottle of Captain Morgan's rum.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
And that was the first thing we recorded.
Do you want to do a little shout out to your bandmates?
Yeah, Ethan, with me on this tour right now, Ethan Neal on drums and Alex Coleman on bass, who is the newest addition. He's been in for about 2 years, and he's awesome. He was actually the guitarist in this band that we all kind of looked up to from Oklahoma for a while, called Horse Thief, and they toured all over around Europe and America. And,
wow.
Yeah, he's cool. They are the current active members, I guess. And then there's a rotating cast. I'll shout out, Ben Wood on trumpet. We've been working with Ethan's younger brother, Eric, on saxophone because he's killer. And yeah, it's been a lot of rotating pieces outside of that, but yeah.
That's awesome. What artists are you inspired by? And if you could record a song with any musician, dead or alive, who would it be?
Fiona Apple.
Okay. Great answer.
I would love to do that. I am inspired by Fiona Apple and Dresden Dolls too, which I'm about to play a show with, which is crazy. God, I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Rufus Wainwright is a big one. I love his writing. I found recently, this wasn't on purpose, but gay men and women tend to be the number one people that I look up to, and I don't know why that is. They tend to sing about more personal things most of the time. So I don't know, I've been interested in those people for sure. The recording thing, Fiona Apple, I would just love to do that. I think she's insane.
I feel like that would be an amazing collab.
I would love it. And she did her last record, a large part of it, at Sonic Ranch, which was part of the reason that I went there. Because I liked how it sounded a lot. Yeah.
What's an artist that you're listening to right now?
God. A lot of them. I don't know who I've been digging into lately. Honestly, I kind of have been going back and listening to a lot of PJ Harvey and Nick Cave for whatever reason. And I was literally looking for Body Heat by Quincy Jones. That's a recurring thing. I go back and listen through Quincy Jones a lot because he's awesome.
When you're driving from place to place on tour, are you listening to music in the van?
Yeah. Lately, this tour has been a lot of Anderson .Paak, Parliament, James Brown, a lot of funk stuff. We've been watching Tales from the Tour Bus.
Okay.
So we've been on a kick with that. We tend to listen to music that's kind of around the cities that we're going into. Like I know every time we go into New York, it's Frank Sinatra and Quincy Jones. Just it's a vibe. But yeah, a lot of funk this tour. Yeah.
No brat.
No rap?
Brat?
Brat? Wait, what's brat?
We'll cut it.
Sorry, what? You know what? And I do stay on top of like relevant stuff, but it's more about and that I approach that from like a producer and recording engineer standpoint. Like I like to hear what's going on. So like I like Sabrina Carpenter. I like Espresso. I like Chopping Wrong. And like all the stuff that Olivia Rodrigo's producer did and stuff. But like there is probably 80% of it that I probably have heard it once, but then it didn't do anything for me. So I just didn't really No, there's a space for everything, and I fall in every one of those spaces at some point. But I go in and out. So there are definitely blind spots though. I don't know Charlie XC yet.
There you go. Now you do. Who do you think should be listening to your music if they're not already?
Anybody, I hope. There seems to be a big LGBTQ community, which I'm even more happy with. And I've noticed at our shows, another fun fact, I had two moms growing up. My mom and Gayla and my other mom, Phoebe, were together since I went from like 7 to 17. And so Phoebe became my other mom, and I grew up with that. And I didn't realize until way later that that was not like a common experience. And so I was definitely fucked with through school about it, and especially in Oklahoma. And so the point I guess I'm trying to make is like I've seen that at our shows, it seems to be very easy for people to be themselves and feel comfortable. They don't get fucked with, like everybody's comfortable. And that's what I'm happy with. So just to say, if nothing else, I think it's for people that have a lot of the same problems that I have had to feel comfortable and relate to something, which I think is actually a lot of people. I think a lot of people are dealing with stuff like this, and whether it was apparent or not before, it's definitely apparent now. So yeah, I think my greatest hope is that if anyone listens to it, they feel better, at least.
That was beautiful. So you're on tour right now with Cat Ridgway. Mm-hmm. How is that going?
It's killer. her and her band are really cool, and they put on a good show, and there's something to be said about going out with another band that's obviously like putting the work in. You know, there's a lot that goes into tour, and it's nice to see. I definitely appreciate the grind, and apart from the fact that the music is good and the performance is good, it's just nice to see other people like really pushing, and she is, so it's been really fun. The show's been good, it's good hangs.
If you're interested in seeing what a Johnny Manchild and the Poor Bastards concert is like, here is a taste from tonight's performance. If you weren't a musician, what career path would you maybe choose?
Am I allowed to choose a different thing in music, or is it just music altogether is out?
Music doesn't exist, it's
Oh, God.
outlawed.
I'd make films.
Perfect.
I guess I'd make films. I have so many answers of what I would do if I just wasn't a performer.
Mm-hmm.
But if music is now just gone, I'd either invent music or make films.
Invent music is a great answer.
Yeah.
Is there any new music you'd like to tease?
Sure, a lot. I'm pretty public with this now. At least I'm starting to be. We're going to put out a single a month next year, starting in March for 8 months. We're gonna do 8 straight singles, and then we're gonna take a little break and work on the record. And then we're gonna release a record of at least 12 more songs, starting with singles in March of 2026.
Wow.
So sometime over the next 2 years, we're gonna release 20 to 23 songs.
Oh my god.
So I've been working on those. But yeah, I wanted to do some singles that we could release regularly just to keep people, you know, a buzz while we're touring. And then while we take a break from that, I'm gonna record the record, which I've been saving all my favorites for. So.
That's really cool.
So yeah, I've got work to do until June of 2026.
So you don't have a hard time finding inspiration for new music?
No, writing's never been that hard. I will say right now, I have had to change my mindset on it and give myself space, because I haven't written. I wrote a new song maybe a month ago, but before that it had been like 6 months, and I realized the reason why I'm not writing so much is because I'm touring so much, and I'm working on so many different things that I don't have the mental space to sit down and just write. But I think that's okay, and I actually have I don't know if I'd call it a theory, but just a perspective on this that made me feel better about it. And you know, this is my full-time job now. This is what I do all the time. Everything else is a side project, but when you're doing something like this, and like my job right now is to go out and play all these songs that I've written and perform and spread the word and stuff, and so my day in, day out is the work I've already done. And so because of that, you get this recursive loop where you're not taking in life experiences outside of what you've been working in. And so it's hard to write new stuff when your only experience lately is your old work. And so I've realized that you kind of have to give yourself time outside of these things to like live. And there's no shortcut or rush. Like, you just have to let yourself live life, and then that shit comes to you.
What can fans expect from your upcoming releases?
gotten a little bit tired of doing dark, sad stuff for a minute, so I'm gonna, a lot of this, don't get me wrong, it's not like happy lyrical content or anything, but I've realized, I think, from playing shows more, like, I want to do some bops that are gonna go hard live, is what I want. I want to have more fun with it, and I want to just jam the fuck out a little, so that's what we're gonna do. I still have my ballads, and I still have my weird off-the-wall tracks here and there, but a lot of them I think are a bit more anthem-y than I'm used to, but there's just fun to play. I wanted to make stuff that's fun to play.
Okay, well, I have one more question for you off the record.
I was wondering if that's what was going to happen here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So off the record, is Johnny Manchild your government name?
No.
Okay.
No. My other mom, Phoebe, I talked about since I was about the time I started getting taller than her, because she's kind of short. She just started calling me Manchild.
Okay.
So that's it.
Okay, I love that
Johnny
backstory.
Manchild. Yep, that's it.
That was cute. I like that. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to check out Johnny Manchild and the Poor Bastards later this year on tour, you will be touring when?
I'll be touring November 29th through December 8th, I believe. I'll be playing solo with Cat Ridgway. And on that tour, since I'm playing by myself, I will be taking requests live at the shows. So the set lists are to be determined. Starting in Jacksonville, Florida, going across the south through Texas, and back home to Oklahoma City.
Awesome. We'll find a date near you when it comes out. Where can the audience find you?
Everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, Tidal, Google, Amazon. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, in your walls. I'm everywhere.
Okay, and if you like this video, make sure to leave it a like and subscribe, and follow us at BRIGHTMOSS Productions on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!